Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to my shop. In this video I'm going to show you how I made a letter tray for in my shop to replace a shorter one that I had, and I made this one to hold more things than what I could buy online. So a lot of us in our shops, we carve out a corner somewhere or a little bit of space for a computer and like office space for doing various office tasks like bills and so forth, invoices, doing our videos, and also for creating things and doing our plans and research and ordering supplies. So need a little corner niched out for our computers and some office supply stuff, and organization is good. So stay tuned. I'll show you how I made this out of a 1/4-inch MDF. Alright, so I have gone and cut out some of these boards here according to the plans that I've got, and I made up 6 of these shelves here, all the same exact size, and these will make up for the shelves of the letter trays. So, and the top and bottom of it too. Then I've got 2 sides here that will go like this, and I marked lines on here where I'm going to cut my grooves at for these shelves, and they'll fit into that. I'm going to make them 1/8 of an inch deep because I'm working with 1/4-inch stock here, and these will go together like this, orienting, but I've measured these lines out according to the plan so they all come out equally spaced throughout the whole thing. Then the shelves here will, fit between these to make up for the letter trays. Then I've got the back part that will go on the back of these, and then the shelves will all be in between here. So next step I will do is I'm going to go to the router, and I'm going to route grooves, not in the back part but in the 2 sides, and I'm going to route it 1/4 inch to fit the 1/4-inch stock, and I'll flip them around as I go. I'll cut a groove, flip it around, cut the other groove, make adjustment to the next space, cut that one, flip it around, make that cut, then measure up and do the center groove. So I'll wind up with 5 shelves altogether. Well, 4 shelves in here, and then whatever's on the top of that will be my 5th shelf. So I'll get that going with the router here. Okay, I've done a test piece and I've got my router bit set up very close to perfect so that I get a edge groove for doing these very edge grooves that I'm going to be doing on the sides on both ends. So I'll do these 4 grooves on these before I do the inner ones, the inner grooves. So I've got it set up with a good fit, and I'll get a good flush fit with these panels on the ends. Get my marked ends down. Then once I cut through, I'll rotate this and cut the groove on the other end. Then I'll adjust the fence and cut the other grooves, and rotating with those too. Get those equally spaced. Now I'll adjust my fence back so I can do the next grooves. Alright, so here I've lined up my router bit with the groove here on the board, the layout I've got on there, and then I'll turn this down, go through it, rotate it, go through it, and I'll have both these grooves done. Now the next setup will be to cut the center grooves on these boards. Okay, now for doing the center line here, I've lined this up with the router bit again, and to be consistent, because this can be slightly off from one board to the next, I'm going to do is mark the top that I have, got a top marked here. I'm going to cut from the same top on both of these and make sure I've got a consistent alignment so my shelf's not crooked. Can be a tad off, but as long as I'm cutting from the same fence instead of rotating one of these the wrong way, I'll have them consistent. Alright, next step is over to assembly. Okay, so I've got these two sides with the grooves cut into them. Got them lined up so that all these grooves, lined up with each other. And I've test fitted them. And basically, for putting these together, I'm going to take these shelf pieces and stick them in and just kind of arbitrarily which side's going to be the back or not, because these shelves are going to be a little bit short of extending all the way to the ends here. And that's because I've designed it so that the back fits flushly into the back end of it. So I'll just pick a side and try and make these to fit in. Get it flush and get it flushed into the slot. So I'll test fitting, and then what I'll do later is I'll put glue in the slots and put these in and then clamp them all up. Now I want to make sure these are all flush with the back end here, so I'm going to put it on its side here and tap these down a bit. Make sure they're flush on my table saw top here. It's my good square reference point. Bring it back up. Then I'll put the top part on here, which takes a little more finesse. Is got 3 boards here that are wiggling that I have to try and fit. Okay. I'll look at the front here to see how I'm lining up so I can guide these in so that they fit well. That goes in. Okay, I got this pretty well. A little bit of spring here that might be just a tad off on the length of one of these boards. But it's still close enough where I can glue it and nail it. So got that together. I'll get these flushed down. Okay, that'll be good. Next part, we'll put these other shelf boards on that will make up for the bottom and the top. Like that. Flush it up with the same edge as the others are. So I've got a recess in the back here. And then this bottom piece fits in on the bottom. Okay. So it'll flush up. Then this back piece will go on the back here. And now glue and nail this all in place. You can see how that's going to be. That'll give me my 4 tray. 1, 2, 3, 4 tray. Then a top shelf up here. And what I'll also do is I'll actually make some cutouts in these here. So when you grab papers, you got a little bit of a recess in there to grab the papers with. So I'll do that next, and then I'll start gluing this all together. Okay, for making these recesses here for the hand grabs, for grabbing papers out off the shelf, measured up other letter trays, and they're recessed in about 1 inch. So I'm going to take my circle template here, and I'll mark in a hole at 1 inch. Okay, see my 1 inch is right here. And what I'm going to do is make these about 6 inches long. So I need to find the center of this board. See, 12 1/4, so that'd be like 6 1/8 for a center. And then from each side, if I go 3 inches, 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 8, 9. So those will be 2 ends of my holes here. Mark the 1 inch. So that's about, so it's like a 1/2 inch indent into this. Now, mark a straight edge across those. And this is all cut out with a bandsaw, so I'll follow these lines. About there. So I'll cut out this part here at the bandsaw, and what I'll do is I'll double tape these all together, these three here, because the bottom and the top piece don't need the cutouts for them. And I'll just double tape these together, go with the bandsaw, and cut them all out at once. Doesn't take a whole lot of tape to hold these together. This double stick tape really works well. Get an edge on the fingernail, peel the edge off, or the other side off. Now I'll line these up. I like to stand them up and get the edges as close as I can to each other and press them together. Wipe off any dust that may be on. Apply tape on this one. Okay, get these stuck together. Get them squared up evenly. They don't have to be absolute perfect, but close is pretty good. It's not fine furniture making, it's shop stuff. And these trays are going to be kind of separated from each other by some distance, so you'll never notice, unless it's a dramatic difference, you'll never notice the difference if they're off slightly. Okay, next up, got these together. I'll go to the bandsaw and cut out these finger spaces for grabbing papers. Alright, next I can go over to my oscillating spindle sander and round these up, sand them so they're good and smooth. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you got some inspiration. And if you did, please give me a like and a thumbs up and share it with your family, friends, and fellow craftspersons. I got this letter tray built as I designed it, and I'll be putting this on my desk. I'll show you some pictures that I'll pop up of how I did this. So, also, besides sharing it, also please subscribe. And be sure to hit that bell icon so you won't miss any new things that come out. And please leave your comments. Love to hear what you have to say, what you want to see, and what your ideas are. I get a lot of great ideas from you. So, thank you.